Hey, what up, my foodies? Guys, I just thought I would jump on here really quick. I haven't talked to you guys in a while after Trixie had her surgery and everything that went on with Trixie. Trixie did good during her surgery. She had 4 teeth pulled, she had her ear packed, and she had 5 inches of tumor removed from her stomach, that big ball. I put a picture. I'll link a picture somewhere in here and so y'all can see it, for those who don't know what I'm talking about. Anyway, and she has a heart murmur and anxiety. She had her surgery and everything went good with the surgery. She had her medication, she came home, and she was supposed to go back 10 days after her surgery. Set an appointment up and everything. So about 8 days from her surgery, I started noticing she was not doing well. Like, she started feeling bad. I called because usually they give me a call like a day before to 2 days before. I just wanted to verify Trixie's appointment because y'all never called me like y'all normally do. And she looked and she was like, oh, well, Skylar, we don't have you down for an appointment. What is the appointment for? It's for her ear to be unpacked, and it's to take the staples and the stitching out because she had both. She goes, well, no. She goes, we never set that appointment. I said, yeah, you did. I said, it's right here in my paperwork. And she goes, oh. She goes, well, the veterinarian, the doctor's going to be out that day. She has a procedure herself. I was like, well, okay, well, I need to have her seen because she's got to have these stitches taken out. And she's not doing that great. She's not feeling good. And she's almost out of her pain medication. So she says, well, okay, let me go. And I was on the phone for a good 15 minutes. She was back and forth talking to the doctor. She said, well, I can get you in tomorrow, which was the day she was supposed to be seen anyway. Around 1, it'll be a tight fit, but I can get you in. And I was like, okay. I said, but she was supposed to have her stitches removed and the ear unpacked. And y'all told me y'all were going to give her some anesthesia to do that, a light anesthesia. She goes, oh, so then I was on hold again for another 10, 15 minutes. So she came back and she told me, she goes, you know, we can't do anything until Friday, so we'll make you an appointment until Friday. It'll be okay. And I'm thinking, no, it's really not, because she's in pain and she's hurting and she needs medication. I said, but if there's nothing else you can do, then that's fine. Then we'll take the appointment for Friday. Because Thursdays, they're closed. So I go to work that night and I come home the next morning. This is now Wednesday. And Trixie's not doing good at all. It's 6 o'clock in the morning, 7 o'clock in the morning, and Trixie is a grayish color. She's not pretty pink. Like, her little skin is real pretty pink. And I told my husband, I said, something's wrong. Something's not right with her. So I said, you know what? I'm not waiting on these people, so I'm just going to meet them up there at 8 o'clock in the morning, and they're going to see her because she's obviously in pain. Well, when I picked her up, this might be a little TMI, but when I picked her up, there was ooziness, and it was an ugly color, and it was just disgusting, and that's all I'm going to say about it. So it was early in the morning, and I get there, and I see somebody walking around the office. They open at 8 o'clock. It's 8:05. I'm standing at the door. I know she sees me because I see you. You see me. We see each other. And she's ignoring me. And I'm thinking, these people are really starting to get on my nerves. But calm down, because the world doesn't revolve around you or Trixie. So she finally comes to the door and she goes, hi. I said, good morning. My husband brings Trixie in. And I commence to tell her what's going on. She stands up, she looks at Trixie, and she said, oh, yes, with a concerned face. So, okay. So she calls the veterinarian, and she's like, hey, yada, 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 everything I just told you, she told her. And she said, okay. She goes, well, she said that she can fit you in, and that she'll be here around 9:30. If you want to go ahead and do that. And I was like, okay. I thought she wasn't going to be here today because she had a procedure of herself. I didn't say this, I thought it. And as she was talking, she said, it's going to be a little bit because she had to take her kids to school for the first day, and she doesn't have a babysitter. And I'm like, okay. In my mind, I'm thinking, well, you told me the other day that she had a procedure herself, that she was not going to be in all day today. Now you're telling me I can get her in at 9:30. Here it is. It's 8 o'clock, a little after 8. So I'm like, like, okay. And she says, well, she can definitely see her, but she's not going to be able to be here till about 10:30. But you'll be one of the first ones that she sees because there's some obvious stuff going on with Trixie. I'm like, okay, I'm getting furious at this point. Now, let me just stop. Just say this. Earlier that morning, I called a hospital clinic. It's an actual hospital for animals in Livingston. I asked her to call me back if I could get her in and told her what was going on. So fast forward back to where we're at now. I'm at the vet's office where she got her surgery. So now she comes around the corner and this other lady comes around behind there, and she goes, okay, just give us Trixie and we'll put her in a kennel, and around 10:30, 11, now it went from 9:30 to now 10:30, 11. She'll be the first one to be seen when she gets here. And I'm holding Trixie. I'm like, excuse me? And she goes, yeah, she told the other lady, she goes, go get her a kennel ready, and she'll be the first to be seen. I was like, wait a minute. I'm not putting her in a kennel. She's already distressed. She's losing hair. She's hurting. She's whimpering. I'm not putting her in a kennel. I'll wait. I'll wait with her. And they were like, oh. And they didn't like that. It was like very, like, rolling their eyes at me. And I looked at my husband, and my husband just kind of did like this, like. I said, okay. I said, we'll be back. And she was still talking, and I just walked out. The phone happened to ring, so I picked the phone up, and it was my veterinarian, or the veterinarian in Livingston, saying, hey, it sounds like she's having sepsis or something along those lines. You need to get her seen. Is she going to be able to be seen by her veterinarian? No, she's be seen right now. So we take off. So we get there. They look at her. The guy is in there. They gave her the best care. I mean, let me back up. The day that she had the surgery, I told him, I said, you know what? I've been seeing worms. I know it's not pretty. And she goes, okay, we'll do a fecal. And so she charged me $45. $35, $45, something like that. Well, when I picked Trixie up from the surgery, I said, did y'all, you know, the fecal, did you check? And she goes, oh, it was negative. And I was like, okay. Same day, she told me, do you want to send this biopsy off to Bryan College Station to Texas A&M, because that's the big pet veterinarian over here in Texas, and they'll do a to see if it's got cancer or not. And I'm thinking, I thought you already did that here, but sure, send it off. She goes, it's going to be $150. I look at my husband and I'm like, okay, that's fine. I said, let's just, you know, to myself, let's wrap this up because Trixie's going to be coming out and I want to have it paid for. So she's telling me how much it is with the fecal and to take it off and to do all this. It came up to $998. And I'm thinking, okay, so we paid it. And so now fast forward back to the day that she's having some trouble and we're back at the Livingston Hospital. I go in there and he does all kind of stuff on her. He did x-rays because her panting, he was worried about her panting. And he was like, well, I can do x-rays and we can find out what exactly is going on. And he comes back out and he goes, yeah, she has a heart murmur. It's in the medium range. It's not at its worst. I would continue to give, because the other doctor told me, her veterinarian told me to quit giving her the water pills. But I told him that I have continued to give her a half in the morning and a half at night. And he goes, that's exactly what I would do because she needs to keep the water off her and off around her heart. So that is a good thing. I don't know why she told you to quit doing that. So I'm glad you continue to do it. Continue to do it. And I'm like, okay. So we got good news with her heart murmur. I mean, yes, she has a heart murmur. Yes, it's not as good as it could be, but it's definitely not as bad as it can be, will be. It's right in the medium range, and it's medicatable right now. So she's doing really, really good. Right there's her veterinarian clinic that we're passing. The one that I will not take her to no more. Let me take her back there and let me just look at her. He goes, because I know she's uncomfortable. After they fixed her little oozing problem and everything, he came back out and he's like, well, she's good to go. You know, she's actually doing really good now. And she was perking up and playing and licking me and just a different dog than what I was when I took her in. So, and I'm like, she's like so different. He goes, yeah. He goes, I went ahead and unpacked her ear and I took those staples out. He goes, the staple was really pinching hard. But basically what he was letting me know is it was pretty shitty shoddy work. And so I said, so the staples are out. He goes, staples are out, ears unpacked. I was like, oh wow. He goes, that's why she's in such a good mood. You know, there's nothing hurting her anymore. And I was so excited. Her eyes, how they had been gooking up and getting green in the morning. And he gave me, and I told her, so she gave me some salve, but it's so hard to put her on there because Trixie's a little mean little shit, y'all. I say that with the utmost respect and love for this little girl, but she's a mean little something. He gives me some droppers to drop in her eyes because I had salve, the little green salve, but it's so hard to get. She wants to bite my finger, literally bite me. So he gives me that, and I tell him, I was like, you know what? I said I had seen worms, and they came back with a fecal matter, and it said that it was negative. He goes, yes, we saw some. So he gave me 2 pills, one to give her then and one to give her in 10 days. Yeah, the worms are gone. Just gone. That's all she needed. She just needed to be treated, and they were gone. And my doctor never even did anything for her. And he didn't put her under to remove all this stuff. She was going to charge me $150. He didn't. All he did is took them all out, and she was doing good. She was doing great. Brought her home. Every day she gradually went up, and she's amazing right now. She's still getting the conjunctivitis in her eyes, but he said that could be due to her becoming older, and it could be something else, some other medication that we may have to treat her with, and it may just be like cataracts in her eyes. So I gotta take her back on the 1st. Now, I was so mad I didn't even talk to the other veterinarian, just left it alone. So I call her and I'm like, okay, I need the information on her biopsy. I need to know what it was because I was going to take it to the other veterinarian, let him, because that's who we're taking it. Oh, and that veterinarian trip that I took over there with everything we had done that should have been done with this veterinarian was $377. Yeah. Anyway, it was worth it because he did x-rays and everything, something she didn't do. So I called and they said they're going to leave her a message. 4 days passed. I called back. They said, oh, she hasn't got to read the email yet. She'll get back with you. Another 5 days passed. I finally called back and I said, I'm not getting off this phone until I'll find something out. So she gets on the phone with me and she's like, well, Skylar, honestly, we didn't know if you wanted to do this, so I wasn't going to send it off because it's $150. And I wasn't going to send it over to Texas A&M and be stuck with a bill myself if you weren't going to pay for it. And it was just up in the air when you left. I was like, wait, hold a minute. I paid for it because that's what she told me I paid for. That's why I went up to that amount. She goes, no, it doesn't show on here that you paid for it. I said, lady, I paid for a fecal that y'all said was negative that wasn't negative. I said, I paid for that because she put it in there. It's on the paperwork. She's up and down telling me that I didn't. She goes, but if you want me to send it off, she said, I can send it off. She goes, but it'll be $150. I said, I already paid for it. Y'all, I was so mad. And she kept getting kind of rude with me. If you'll let me talk, if you let me speak, I can tell you. Because I might have been cutting her off, but it was like, quit telling me I need to pay for it when I already paid for it because I have paperwork for it. And I even told her that. Anyway, so she continues. And she goes, well, let me find out exactly. She goes, because the young lady that did all this, she's out with COVID right now. And I'm not going to call her at home, which I understood that. She said she won't be back until Monday. So when Monday rolls around, I will give you a call. Well, Monday was Labor Day. I didn't get a phone call. Here it is today. I still haven't got a phone call from her. My husband just said, we're done with her. What's going to happen is I called my other veterinarian. I told him what was going on. He said he's going to call and request it to be sent to him. And if she refuses that, which she can because she actually did the work on it, then she's got another little bitty one on her stomach. He said he can just take and remove that one, very minimal surgery. And he can test it there at the hospital and see what's going on, which is what I thought she was going to do here. And it would be nowhere near $150 like it was with her. So that's what we're going to do on the 1st and find out what's going on. But yeah, y'all, this lady, I'm done with her. Yeah, y'all, after $1,000 there, $400 at the other clinic, at the other doctor, which she did hold on, y'all. I don't even know where I was at last, but yeah, we spent quite a bit of money on her, and she's doing good. She's fixing to go get her first beauty grooming here in just a little bit on Tuesday, and she needs it, y'all. She is looking a hot mess. Anyway, I just wanted to give a quick update on how Trixie's doing and what's going on. And I was gonna do this a couple of days ago, but I have been really sick with upper respiratory infections with pneumonia, and for 14 days I have been out. So I'm feeling better. I put makeup on. I took a shower today, so I feel amazing. So, because believe me, y'all, I was not feeling good at all. Anyways, guys, I love you guys, and I will talk to y'all later. We're on our way to go pick up Cliff from work, and I can't wait to see him. Trixie's sitting right here. Anyway, guys, I will talk to y'all next time. Phatnfull, Phat. Bye, my foodies.